high impact at all in that first map. So curious to see if Cash, another strong op map, if they're going to be able to come alive here.
Well, they do need him. I mean, the cool thing about the transition that Titan have been going through for a while now is that they no longer have to rely on Kenny to drop 30 or 40 kills for the team to work. That's good news, but they still need him.
Yeah.
And they do need him to be a strong presence.
But that's kind of the thing with Kenny as well. It's just like, you know, he is frags. Like, that's what he brings to the team. Like, he is just there to be this frag machine, to just completely destroy teams single-handedly, and then for the rest of Titan to kind of play around him. And this is actually, you know, how the team was built to begin with at the beginning. And I know people are like, well, don't say that. You know, it's not all about Kenny. But realistically, at the beginning, Kenny was what this team was about. He was the core of the team that the rest of the team kind of came around. Of course, they've kind of evolved from that now, but yeah, it's still at the roots. You know, Kenny is so important for Titan.
It was it was sort of the Titan philosophy, because before they had Kenny, when they were playing with Shox instead, it was Shox that had that role. Be the star fragger, we'll set everything up for you, and then you can go nuts, you can go crazy. It seemed like that was just the existence way of thinking, really. I'm glad they changed away from that, and I think that they're a much more solid, a much more consistent team now. But there is still a lot that revolves around around Kenny.
I'm kind of disappointed in you, Anders. You know, you've been singing RPK's praises for so long, and yet he was top fragging for Titan there. You didn't say a word. Didn't say a thing, Anders. Come on, man.
I am still super excited, but I still maintain I think they need another 2 months here, Titan, before. I think they have every single ingredient they need to be the top 1, 2, 3 team in the world. All they lack is time. So I'm still super impressed by Titan, but I'm not surprised that they're having a hard time versus Fnatic. So I think 2 months from now it'll be very different.
No, I don't doubt you. I mean, we are already seeing like the evolution here as well. You know, one guy that we haven't really spoken too much about as far as this best of 3 is concerned is Maniac. And Maniac actually had some solid performance, some solid plays on Mirage. But recently in the recent tournaments, I mean, last week at ESL he was the best performing player at that LAN, flat out. And this week he continues at ESEA. He's done some fantastic work for Titan throughout the brackets. So Maniac has done a complete 180, because just a couple months ago he was saying, you know, I don't know how to this pressure is really getting to me. I'm not performing. I'm not stepping up to the level that I expect of myself. All of a sudden, you know, in the space of a couple months, he's completely turned that around and become a key player for Titan.
Yeah. It's really, really, like, personally, it has to be a big achievement for him, without a doubt. And he's still a really down-to-earth guy, so he doesn't brag too much about it when we're off the air, but he definitely deserves some recognition for what he's done. Grenade gonna rain in here. Oh. It just bounces off the top. I think probably Kenny would have moved far enough away anyway, but still a little bit disappointing there. Looking for the one tap is Crims, and if you're just joining us, this is the second map in the best of 3. Fnatic having a 1-map lead currently, so Titan have to win this map to avoid being eliminated. The winner gets to face VODs Pro in the Grand Finals, which will also be today, and should be quite an interesting match. If it's Fnatic, it'll be a repeat of last year's final, and a very similar situation. Fnatic coming through the lower bracket and all that stuff. Olofmeister fighting initially in the middle. It's going to be a B push, and if they push fast here, Flusha's going to be alone. This will be a disaster. And you can sort of almost smell the panic on him here, trying to fall back and call for backup. Great headshot, though. They're coming around the flank as well, and he ends up going down. Olofmeister from the top, though, to drop Maniac.
To have an impact there, and now they have to just play this very carefully. Olofmeister doesn't need to take too many risks, doesn't need to push too hard here, because he's got the rotation coming in. Pronax checking for lurkers in mid, but he's going to start working his way into vents. Kenny holding and checkered, though. We have to see if Pronax can get the drop on him. Kenny, peekaboo, surprise! And Pronax gets the kill. So important. 2-man advantage now going into this retake for Fnatic. JW and Olofmeister walk in and get the remaining kills. And Fnatic, everything goes right there. Flusha gets a 1-for-1, and then Olofmeister manages to get that edge that Fnatic hold on to throughout the rest of the round. Yeah,
and it's hugely important that Flusha actually gets that kill in. It could be a disastrous round otherwise. And then I think the big, well, it's like a tiny detail, but it did have a pretty big impact on the round, because the way the bomb dropped once the bomb carrier died, it meant that it was sort of down here, which gave Olofmeister so much space to take fights with them for a very long time, whereas normally what they'd want to do is just kind of ignore him, get in and plant the bomb, but they actually had to sort of engage him for a long time. So that was a little bit unfortunate as well for Titan. Good start for Fnatic, though, and the Frenchmen, they reply with tech lines and armor, and look at this, it's going to be a train wreck in A main, and Titan come out on top. Maniac and Apex with the 2 opening frags, and then They just have to avoid fighting Olofmeister once more, and they're going to do that with Smoke's great stuff here.
Yeah, now Apex has that UMP to work with, and there you go, just running gun straight up. Olofmeister running out of bullets. He wishes he had an M4A4 there. Even if Famas, extra 5 bullets would have made a wondrous difference as Flusha just completely holds down Mouse 1 and cleans up with that P90. Triple kill for Flusha in the end. But I was kind of, he kind of like broke my speech pattern there just because, like, okay, Flusha, hold down Mouse 1, collect frags, there you go.
I was wondering because you were saying, oh, he could have had like an M4A4, would have more bullets, and then Flusha shows up with a P90. And
like, what's up, let me one-up you, bro.
Do you need more bullets? Similar, I'm ready. All right, well, no armor this time around. 1 grenade on Apex seems like a bit of a random purchase, but
this is going to be like the most valuable $300 he's ever spent.
Yeah, but I'd rather he spend $100 less than buy a flashbang.
Yep, well, Flusha took 20 damage off of it, so there's some value. RPK gets cleaned up. Crim's just calmly clicking them away over here in B halls, and Flusha even peeking up behind this to get some more info, make sure that nobody else is here. He spots the remaining 2 guys who are rotating over from Garage, so Flusha really looking to take this fight. He's going to pick up the 1, and JW, he clears out T-spawn. Maniac is gone.
A single kill for Existence here, and Crim's off with a triple in the round. So the first 3 rounds go to Fnatic. That second one could have been close. They sort of pushed, you know, A main and they got overrun. So now it's time to see if Kenny can really step it up. Like we said, he wasn't much of a presence on Mirage. They do really need him now, and he's gone full glass cannon, which I think is a very good idea. Yeah, this is now going to be like that point right here where you have to build your confidence, just like when JW, same kind of play, because he has the AWP here. This is when you're telling JW, like, go ahead, take that battle, take that peak, get off to that strong start. And Kenny's waiting for this as well. Look at this. He's holding that long line in A main. He's just like, okay, if you're going to peak, buddy, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be waiting for you. But we aren't seeing any of the ultra violence, ultra aggression out of Fnatic this time around. They elect to hold back much more passively. The only man who's really pushed forward is Flusha, and he's just kind of controlling mid with the help of Crims. And this position from Kenny, like you were talking about, being that far up. When I've been watching oh no, Kenny down to 6 and then Flusha with the P90 to pick it up. Had to interrupt myself then, that was almost heartbreaking. He just wanted to get the peak off. Good Molotov here to force Flusha back, and it almost could have killed him as well, but Crims will take down Apex, and then he gets taken out by Existence. So a lot of even trading going up here. The A bomb site is definitely the easier one to hit right now, but they don't have the intel to know it. There's some crazy communication going on here. The timing is all working out for Fnatic at least. RPK, very drawn-out battle there. Pronax, who's going to walk right into the waiting arms of Maniac, because, of course, Maniac, the pro lurker, always in squeak door on a site. He hits that perfect timing as Pronax pushes through to open up the site for his team. And now Olofmeister, the man with the most HP here on Fnatic, he has to hit some just incredible shots. And he's going to start off strong, taking out RPK, who was already tagged down low. 20 seconds now to get this bomb down, and Maniac, of course, will manage it. But Olofmeister's just doing tremendous damage right now. Yeah. He gets another kill. There's the headshot onto Existence. So dangerous crossing when someone's holding the truck, and they didn't have any smokes to zone him out with, so they had to try and take the fight with him there. Maniac in the back line's very low on health as well, and Olofmeister making it a triple and easily retaking that bomb site. So Fnatic 4-0, although a very expensive round for them. And I like how they're just waiting as well to make sure that Flusha can go and pick up that AWP. So AWP will be recovered. That's, you know, Kenny's, JW's, doesn't really matter. They have a sniper rifle now to work with. So when I've been listening to the TSM's you know, POV streams, something that they actually do is they sometimes sit right here with an AWP. It could be Cajun or someone else sitting, and they call this specific spot the anti-Kenny spot. They say, hey, go anti-Kenny, and they just wait for him because they know that there's a good chance he's going to be lurking up sort of against the back wall here. So they have a specific name for playing against Kenny on this, or well, not just Kenny, but any sniper who will do that. But it's they've named it after him anyway. Well, that's one thing that, you know, I've heard this now from several teams where Titan can tend to be a little predictable in their movements and their plays, and certain teams have really, you know, started to map out how they approach certain maps and the plays that they go for. So it doesn't really surprise me that TSM actually have a name for that right now. Great opening from Titan in this round. That was Apex, the entry fragger getting that kill. Obviously big. They didn't speed up behind it. They didn't feel quite confident. If they had, they would have been perfect, but there was no way they could have known it. So not really trying to criticize them for that one. Instead, they wrap back around towards the A bomb site, and they got to be careful with that. Man advantage on this A side as well, actually, because Flusha's rotated over into CT spawn. They really are trying to double up on this. Pronax holding in mid. They've just completely given up on B site.
So Fnatic, this is the all-out gamble, and it is looking like it could pay off. RPK is going to rotate back into Garage, pick up that bomb. They're going to start heading over to that A site now. Maniac and Kenny getting set up to push through. Smokes go down to block off CT, and this is it. Can they hit the shots?
Well, Flush are going to start off. Pronax will die in the middle, but JW is there as well. Apex to fall. It's a 3v3, and now they are actually wrapping back around with the bomb. Existence going to hold the mid, and they are going to make the call in the very last possible second here, Titan, to run back towards B. I was about to say this is a great mid-round call for Pronax to put that many people at A, but you see Existence. This is essentially a battle of the in-game leaders to try and figure out where the defense is the weakest and trying to rotate it around. It's absolutely beautiful to watch this level of play. 7 seconds here. JW going to pick up the 1 kill. Now they got to get in and get the bomb down. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. The round is lost here. Fnatic going to make it 5-0. No chance for a plant. Wow, that was a game of chess between Existence and Pronax. Nothing less.
The timings, the gambles, just the bets, like the bluffs, everything coming in there. Pronax, yeah, holding that position up close like that, also hearing the steps coming through into A main. That confirms everything, that allows for so much information to be gathered by Fnatic, and for Flusha to be in position to support JW. I mean, Fnatic with the great calls, but then RPK knowing, you know, that I don't have a smoke. We have a smoke for CT, but we don't have a smoke for upper. How, you know, I need him to peek at me. But Fnatic just playing that so well, waiting and forcing him out into the open with that bomb. So now Titan, I mean, they have to go for a buy. They've lost 5 rounds in a row here. They don't get a bomb plant, but they have just enough to get some rifles. But look at the nade count for them. I mean, we haven't even passed the minute mark. They have 2 flashes and a smoke to work with. They really desperately need somebody to overextend here, and Wolfmeister does just that. He gets caught out in the open. That kind of kill is really going to help Titan when they have so little gear. Kenny takes out Crims, and Titan, everything is working for them right now. Yeah,
great stuff here, and you're right, Olofmeister trying to play in the smoke, just got a little bit too impatient and ended up going down. Now Pronax will be dropped here, RPK, and it's Kenny with a triple kill. No AWP action, just the rifle, and this is something that we have actually pointed out in the past. One of the reasons why someone like JW can be such a huge asset to Fnatic is that when his AWP isn't working, he can switch it up and play with a different rifle. Kenny can too, but it sometimes seems like Kenny's more stubborn and really wants to keep trying. And maybe the solution is, I mean, they've saved 1 AWP, so they might as well go for it, but maybe sometimes he should say, I'll give it up a little bit earlier, it's not working, and I'll just play with a rifle and still be a really good player.
We'll see if they manage to take up the anti-Kenny. It's not going to be the case, though. Fnatic are going for an eco round here. And that's what I think happened with Wolfmeister pushing into halls like that. I think that they weren't quite 100% sure as to whether rifles were bought up on Titan or if they were going for some kind of, you know, halfway buy with Tech 9s. So Olaf trying to get the info, trying to maybe get a free kill. Only problem is everybody from Titan were there, and as soon as Titan had the advantage, they didn't let up. They just abused the fact that they had the rifles and that they had Crims pinned down and that, you know, everything was falling into place from them from there on out. I like that JW's checking Squeak as well. Maniac, this is one of the things that kind of, and it's incredible because Maniac, it's so obvious that he's always in Squeak, and yet somehow he still manages to make it work. Versus teams that know. They know that Maniac goes Squeak every time, and yet he still manages to hit the timings to get the kills.
Well, I know that NBK, who's playing that A-bomb site for Envy, said, that was actually in Cologne, said, well, I have no problem playing as Maniac. I feel like I know exactly what he's doing at Squeak, and I'll always win that battle. And in Cologne, he was actually mostly right. NBK had a pretty good track record against Maniac over there. This round, Flusha going to be picking up RPK, runs right into Existence. So just the 1 kill happening on RPK, and he did pick up 2 in return, so it's not that bad. So finally, Titan make it work. 5-2, and it's not like Fnatic. I mean, some of the players have money, but some of them are still pretty low here. If Titan can win this round and bring it back to something that looks like 5-4, all of a sudden we've got a real game on our hands again.
Yeah, this is where it starts to get very interesting here. One of the key rounds of this first half. Now we have to see if Fnatic can lock it down and keep control, or if Titan are going to start running away with this half. Because keep in mind, Titan, they only really need to get up to 5 rounds here to consider this a 1 half as far as they're concerned. So this is going to be big. And JW missing a key shot, goes for the repeat, not going to get it. Molotov is going to be there. They're trying to light the room up. And Kenny putting the shot through the wall, but he's lost his support. And JW just can't seem to connect. He can't seem to connect with the shot.
Apex with a really good double kill. It was a double upset as well from Fnatic here. Existence in the middle. Great headshot. Pronax goes down, and Olofmeister to fall. Existence, the Belgian captain here for the Titan team, picking up 2 great kills in the middle, preventing any kind of rotation in with the backup. And it's going to be 5-3. And now Fnatic, they have to eco once more. Titan, you're right. They just need about 5 rounds, and they're about to be very close. This is turning this game into something very interesting now.
Yeah, and that's got to be a cause for concern as well, because now Kenny's starting to wake up a little bit. Kenny's starting to land some shots, and JW is not connecting with his. He had multiple opportunities there to turn everything around for Fnatic. So That's going to be something we have to keep an eye on here as this half progresses. Fnatic, though, on eco once again. P250's picked up for them, and they've already lost a man, but they've done some decent damage. Apex is now going to have to play a little bit carefully here. Look at Crims. He's just like Maniac. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Go to the right. One step. That's all I'm asking for. Oh, and he tries to force it.
Yeah, he lost patience at the end there, but you're right. You just needed him to just step once to the right, and it would have been good. And Flusher's got no knife skin. Could that be true?
I think so, yeah. He's a bit of a purist. You know, there was a man who used to be like that. His name was Guardian.
Yeah, but we converted him successfully.
He was converted, corrupted, you know, okay. Tomatoes, tomatoes.
Saved him, I would say. Brought him to the dark side.
Indeed, man, indeed. Alright, well, now, yeah, look, but this is where it's just past the point of no return. I mean, Titan are sitting with 3 guys. They have more than 10,000 in the bank.
When VODs Pro was playing in this map T-side, they had some incredible strategies that involved all these Molotovs right here. They would firebomb A and B and mid and all over the place. They really made it tough to hold, especially right where Flusher and Olofmeister are holding. They'd throw so many Molotovs that it would be almost impossible here. Grenade timing, pretty damn good. Maniac goes down. And I think Pronax helped out with a couple of shots as well. That's huge.
That is sick. What a read. There you go. That's the problem with going there every single round, Maniac. They're going to wise up to that and start countering you pretty hard. Crims holding up close, catches the boost, nearly gets a shot onto Kenny as well, but now they know he's still here. Molotov to go out there, but Crims gets caught out by Existence, who is just coming alive right now. Double kill for Existence. And RPK, that looked mechanical. That's just like, you know.
Yeah, he's the tank, right? Just, I mean, as long as he doesn't have to move too much, things are going to be just fine. Flusher, though, in a very dangerous position. If they decide to go B and push the bomb through this route, it's going to end badly. 45 seconds, though. They're going to go for GW, and he's actually in a really good position as well. Both Fnatic members, because they can't play together, have put themselves in a spot where they are likely to get at least a couple of kills, and that would be enough.
You'll have to see how thorough... Well, as I say that, there you go. JW steps in, picks up the first one. That's 2 kills for him now, but RPK walks in and takes him out just like that. So now down to Flusher. 20 seconds left for this bomb to get planted. And Titan, they're taking their time. They're being thorough, and they're waiting for the rotation to come in. Flusher starts walking just at the right time, though. This might actually catch RPK off guard, except that he decides to plant safe.
Decent enough grenade. Molotov to follow up here. Just going to try and cut off the bomb site a little bit, and there's a counter Molotov as well. Flusher. Difficult clutch for him to try and pull off here. But he's got some time with the defuse kit here, but Existence will come in with a triple kill, taking no damage at all. And Titan will bring it back to 5-5, tying up the score and putting Fnatic in a tough choice. This is where they really got to make up their minds. Now, there are no NA teams left, but if this was an NA team, I wouldn't be surprised if they just bought it up and went for it, because they seem to do that a lot more than Europeans. But even Fnatic feel like they got to fight for it here. Enough
is enough. And look at this. I mean, just Famasses across the board, just to be able to have the nades to work with here. A scout on Flusher. And this is what's really interesting is that it was 5 rounds in a row for Fnatic. Now it's 5 rounds in a row for Titan. Are we going to see another 5 here for Fnatic? Because they are just starting off strong here. Crims with the headshot on a Maniac to begin. They've already done the damage here.
And that's what you talked about with that predictable play. They know they can always find Maniac at the squeak door. So now they just make a specific play to try and kill him, and it worked. So really well done. The rest of Titan, though, rotating swiftly towards this B-bomb site. And Olofmeister, Famas not quite good enough. Flusher tries with the no-scope through, but not going to connect. And then grenade, no one quite close enough to kill, at least. Still good rotation coming in from Fnatic. They're all here turning around. Pronax spots. Oh, he's still not going to get the kill. Existence is playing so well right now.
The only problem is now that RPK needs to find a way to get across on this site. Flusher holding on high, looking to land the shots when they come across, but Existence is low. RPK is as well. Kenny going to find JW, though. And now it comes down to Crims and Flusher. The remaining 2 members here for Fnatic. 40 seconds left to get this bomb, and they managed to sneak it onto the site. So RPK, he should be able to manage it here.
Yeah, great use of the Molotov. Flusher very nearly burning alive, in fact, and is just going to have to run away. Oh, that's really hard. Titan, they're in a 3v3, and what they do is really slow it down and just wait. That's a hard decision to make, because when you do that, you saw how much Flusher was wall-banging through. There's always a chance that one of your players is going to get picked off while you're doing it, and then all of a sudden, you're in a really bad spot. It's different if you have the bomb down. Then you can just hang around for a long time, but they really played that close. RPK will go down, and Flusher's just going to try and see if he can do as much damage as possible here. But that's now going to be Titan taking the round lead.
Does he realize where there's another Famas, though? Because he ran over the one Famas in mid, and it looks like he's just not interested in saving one. He's going to stick to the scout. Flusha, okay then. It's an interesting turn of events there. Would imagine he'd want to go for the rifle. Instead, it's just going to be him with the scout, and yeah, the pause coming in here from Fnatic, basically. So they went for the gamble in the last round. Now they have to figure out what they're going to go for here. If they're just going to allow Titan to take 7 rounds and then take another round of saving, take another round of eco here.
They did show us on Mirage that they were really damn good at playing the T side. Maybe they could do something similar on this map. Mirage ended 8-7 for the first half, and it was in favor of Titan. They took 8 rounds on the T side. So, you know, while it seems out of control, I would say the balance between Mirage and Cash they're somewhat similar. Somewhere between 9-6, 10-5 on the CT side. You want the majority of the rounds. So even though this is pretty bad for Fnatic, it feels like they still have a chance of getting back, even though they're not getting those the optimal number of rounds here.
They are the team that is capable, absolutely, of coming back into it. You know, you say it time and time again, but that's why they are up there at the very top. It's the teams with the most experience, essentially. You know, just the Fnatic, the Envy, the NIP, the VP. You know, these teams that have the ability to keep their composure and grind out rounds, basically. Even if they're so far behind, they never give up. It's always just one round at a time. Do what you can in that, and if it doesn't go your way, forget that round. It's passed. Focus on the next one, and it's just that round after round. So the fact that they call a timeout now, this is just Pronax, you know, taking his time. They have 1 timeout per map, so they're just going to take their time now, try and set it up, because they know that they need to at least get ahead and get up to 9-6. So Fnatic, are they going to go for a force buy here, though? That's the real crazy thing, because it is an option, but then that's not giving JW the AWP. If they eco once more, though, he has the AWP in the next round, and they could even go for a double. They could give Olofmeister one.
I mean, Fnatic have a great track record of actually picking up a lot of those rounds where they do force up, but we've seen it be the downfall of other top teams. In fact, Titan is one of the teams that used to be prone to it on Dust 2. Sometimes they would force up so much on Dust 2 on the CT side that they'd never be able to buy that up for Kenny.
Yeah, I remember that on Inferno as well.
Yeah,
where it was always when they would get behind, and then they wouldn't. That's when you could tell it was a confidence question. It was a question of confidence, because you need to have the confidence to say, yes, we'll eat this eco. We'll let them get a little bit further ahead, but we know that we'll shut them down when we have the guns in the next round. You have to be willing to take that gamble.
Yeah.
And you know, when a team, you know, they keep going for these force, it's just that they're willing to gamble because they don't trust in their game.
They don't, in fact, force up. They go for a couple of smokes and a couple of flashbangs as well, but this is more just evening out the economy, and maybe you can use one to pick up a couple of good kills. Titan go as one big group. Going to boost a little bit in the middle here, and actually they're really fast into the middle, just getting that control. This is great play.
Yeah, look at Existence straight up short. So fast, in fact, that he catches Crims completely off guard. 3 players here for Fnatic, however, so this is an interesting play. Molotov's back behind quad boxes. Nobody going to be there. Using the Molotovs to just clear out these angles, but then, surprise, surprise, JW on the site, not going to get anything done. And Existence just barely spots the gun barrel. Olofmeister still able to run forward, pick up the first kill, but he will not get a second. RPK stabilizes, and Kenny closes it out. So, bit touch and go there, but Existence, he got a bit of a lucky break.
Wow. I had to get a screenshot. I can't help myself. It's that was a really, really inspired play from Titan. Just jump. It's always first of all, it's always a real pleasure to watch people make this jump in middle, where you jump up from the rooftop and actually land right here and just run into middle. And you can see that Fnatic, as you said, they had no clue that it was going to be that fast. So that's really cool. And they must have known that the Fnatic took that timeout to plan something. And then they just kind of they didn't even try to play into that whole sort of, what if they do this and then we'll do this. They just played their own game in that round. Really nicely done.
Yeah, now this is going to be the big round, right? We have the AWP up on JW. No AWP for Olofmeister, so that's a bit of a surprise there. They could have really tried to change things up. Instead, it's going to be Pronax, and they are changing it up by putting 3 guys early on B site. So they're saying, okay, deal with Maniac over there. He's going to be solo anyway. Now come in and just completely wreck Titan. Kill after kill coming in here, and Maniac not getting anything done on that A site either. Existence, once again, finds himself all by his lonesome. And this kept happening, actually, versus Virtus Pro yesterday. So I think Existence, he got kind of fed up with it. And I'm sure he's not happy to find himself in this situation again. It's like, guys?
Yeah. You know, he's the sort of in-game leader that wants to call his team into victory, but if they're all dead, it's kind of hard to make a call.
He's a social player, right?
Well, it is going to be just him alone. I mean, at this point, there's still a lot to be accomplished in the round for him. Considering Fnatic's economy, if he picks up a couple of kills here, it'll be huge. Even as we're going to the 14th round, it can make a big difference. So he's hiding and waiting 25 seconds. 1 kill is not enough. 2 is acceptable. 3 would be almost unreal. It's the first one going into it. 12 bullets left, and he goes down. JW going to put an end to it. And we're looking at the 14th round coming up.
So this is going to be the crucial one here because Fnatic now, they need to just keep strong. They need to hold out. Titan have all the money in the world. They're under no duress right now as far as just having the money to be able to full buy consistently throughout the rest of this half. Fnatic are the ones who need to just get something done here because if they lose this round, if it somehow continues that Titan persists in keeping control, they are not going to have a full buy in the next one. So it's going to be a very awkward situation here. And Fnatic, I'm curious to see if they're going to have any of the ultra aggression because JW, not even going to bother. He just goes for the straight up smoke to block off A main right from the start. So no peek from him, no aggressive, take for information. Instead, Fnatic doing what they did in the last round, in fact. Just setting up the defense on that B site. Except that it's not nearly as aggressive. I mean, Crims is kind of waiting in the angle. Yeah, so this is actually just really just the lockdown from Fnatic. But look at this. I mean, they're so passive right now. They've given up totally on mid control. And they're holding so far back on the site right now. I'm not sure if this is how Fnatic should be playing this out because Titan are not a team that you should be giving space to. You need to at least poke them a little bit at the beginning just to keep them honest.
I would love if Titan checked this box where Crims is. We've seen it happen, I think, 2 or 3 times in this tournament so far, and it's always been when there's no one there, but instead it's a lot of trading going on over at the A-bomb site. Pronax throwing him a smoke, but now they know exactly where he is. That's a big risk as well. They can just try and see if they can hunt him down here. Flashbang through. Pronax has to come up huge, otherwise his backup is going to be miles away. And they're still checking for him. RPK putting a couple of shots through here. 30 seconds on the clock. Pronax goes out, and he ends up going down in the middle existence to fight Olofmeister, and he's going to get traded, but Crims and Flusher, this is going to be a very tough retake indeed.
Yeah, especially since Kenny's not going to be able to find the angle to get that bomb planted. Flusha, Crims, they're already here, but they've been smoked out, and RPK is going to find the shot in from Forklift. So Crims now the only man alive here, 1v3. Bomb has been planted, and he should be backing off to save this gun. I mean, if he could actually find JW's AWP, that'd be great. Just try and hold on to that, but he just goes running into mid. He needs to make tracks. He needs to get out of here because, like I said, it's going to be all over the place with the money next round for Fnatic, so he needs to hold on to this. Spots out RPK as well. They now know where he is. They're just going to be closing in like sharks right now, Titan. They aren't going to let him get away. But that's the issue, is that Fnatic, I mean, sure, JW starts off strong, he gets the kill, but then, of course, Kenny is in position. That's the thing. Titan are going to be setting up so that they can chain frag behind it. If one guy goes down, the next one's going to step into line, manage to get that shot, and then they kind of just keep the pressure up like that. Fnatic, they played so passively, zero information to go off of until Titan were literally on the site with them.
I do want to take a moment to just have some appreciation for Titan's insistence almost now on planning in this far corner of the bomb site instead of planning in the default spot. I think that's a very encouraging idea that they keep doing this now. So credit to them for doing that. Maybe in the halftime we'll talk about the setup that Fnatic was doing over at B. They've changed it up now. They're doing it different. When they had 3 people in B, I think there's a very sort of precise measurement to exactly how Fnatic would, Titan would attack that site and how you end up peeking the corners. So there's like almost like a list of priorities you're going to check for, and Fnatic will play right into that if Titan went for it. So because they end up holding one person where Olofmeister is right here, another person in here, and then I think it was Crims all the way in the back here, you're essentially going to be spotting this person first. You're going to look for this one second, and third is going to be the last guy coming up from behind. It's really, really hard when you're the terrorist team. If you find number 1 and 2, it's hugely unlikely there's going to be a third person back there. If you only find one person inside the bomb site, then there's going to be an alarm bell ringing saying, where's the second guy? Either he's upper or he's CT, but he could also be checkered. Yeah. So you got to check for it. But when you see 2 people inside the site, that's where things get a little bit rough here. RPK, though, will be going down. Flusher with that opening kill, and Titan has the 15th round, and if they could win it, it'd be huge. They're already having a great first half here, but if they can steal this away from Fnatic, it would be big. And Existence, he's been on fire this first half. Yeah, and we're back into a 3-on-3 as Pronax just peaks Existence and gets taken out. Kenny just waiting to see if anybody's going to be there, but it's JW from on high, changing up that angle, catching him off guard. Existence going to get running headshot by Olofmeister. That's going to shut him down, and it's RPK now alone. 1v3 with 2 guys present on this A site. Crims from range is going to be able to pick him off, and we will end it at 8-7. Fnatic battling back, but again, just very curious rounds, and Flusha kind of really playing into RPK's hands there because, again, Titan are one of those teams that just love to go for the Molotov, and also they're so good about the communication as well because it's a combo. It's a 1-2 combination punch. They put that Molotov into vents to force that CT player out, who's then going to drop into the waiting arms of somebody from Titan. So Titan holding in those B halls. Flusha wasn't in the vents, but he still walked out into RPK, and RPK did not miss that shot. So 8-7 again, just like on Mirage. Titan come up with some really big T rounds and have a great T half on their hands right now. All they need to do is win this pistol and put up even just a halfway good defense, and they should be able to take this map away. Third map would be Dust 2, by the way. It would be really intense to see these two teams on Dust 2, by the way.
It would be.
I think Titan actually have a really good shot at beating Fnatic on Dust 2. So we'll have to take a moment here before we're ready with the second half, but it's gonna be really sick now to see if Titan can at least come back and make it a third map.
So hard to say though with Titan. You know, I would like to say, you know, yeah, Titan Dust 2 used to be solid. Cash as well, CT. But so many of these maps, a lot of these plays revolve around a strong op.
Yeah.
And again, you know, if Kenny's not on his game, Titan, we saw what happened to them on Mirage. They just got overrun.
Yeah.
Could happen as well here on Cash. So are we going to have a repeat performance here from Fnatic?
We're about to find out. A lot of credit to Existence for playing as well as he did that first half. I mean, they got 18, or he got 18 kills and just 8 deaths. That's incredible. Maniac, as you can tell, has had such a great tournament. At 6 kills at the end here, that has so much to do with how hard Fnatic shut him down over at Squeak Door. They really figured out the way he was playing, and they hard countered him. So you can tell the full effect of that as well. Now, Fnatic, pistol round going in here. It's Tech 9 on Crims, and it's Tech 9 armor on Olofmeister charging the middle, but there's a guy in the smoke waiting. Is he going to realize Existence is there, and he's going to get overrun entirely. And now they're going up the highway really quickly, see if they can get into this A bomb site. RPK, nice shot. Still 10 bullets left in this C-Sed. But they're wrapping back around. It's a 3v3 center. This is such a fast round, and now it's slowed down.
Yeah, they haven't stopped running, actually, Fnatic. Now that they just really adapt, they're like, okay, wait a second, quite a bit of a defense over here at A site. Let's go ahead and rotate back around to the B one. They've got that bomb. It's heading in, and there's the running shot onto Apex. That was crucial. They couldn't afford to give up anybody now. Fnatic, they've got that man advantage, and once again, Titan on their CT side, just like on Mirage, it's history repeating itself. It's the struggle.
And look at this bomb plant here. Instantly, JW goes to hide in the corner, and they plant right for him. RPK going to go down. Maniac, especially because of the bomb plant, this is an almost unwinnable position. JW actually risking it a little bit by going to fight here, but this is a tough position for the Swiss player. 1v3, tries to see if he can get into the corner. 4 bullets left at the moment, and yeah, he sees where it is as well. Pronax to get the kill, so great job, and great forward thinking from Fnatic. Suppose that turned into a really tough situation. If it was a 1v1, if JW's back here and you have to defuse in that corner, you've almost lost the round entirely. That's so hard.
He can play you, exactly. He can just play you like a fiddle. Keep peeking, never really let you stick on that bomb. So
there's another shotgun on RPK, though. I enjoy this.
I'm okay with this.
Yes, I'm just fine with that.
Although I would like to see it on Apex, because yesterday Apex did some crazy stuff with the shotgun on Inferno.
Well, he might have a chance to use it. He's very close here. The Nova shotgun. Oh, not quite the kill, but the follow-up will be a lot of damage poured on here. And Existence is there with the Deagle as well. He's going to come back in for JW and RPK. Almost a triple kill with that shotgun, and it's working beautifully for them. Kenny almost getting taken out here. And Existence in the back line going to get shot in the face.
Maniac with the flank, though. This is his role to lurk, and he comes through marvelously. Hits that timing just right. Crims, really? What? He gets that shot onto Kenny long range. Onto Maniac, rather, but still.
I can't believe it. That looked like that should have been Maniac's round, but he didn't have a head armor, so he just went down immediately.
For a second, I thought he was actually going to try and do that fight with the Nova. I was like, no, Crims, you're not this brave. You're not that crazy.
You still see the effect, by the way, of the shotgun on RPK's money here. Is 3,200 with the 2 kills, and I think he almost got a third one as well. Fnatic, they will prevail, though. They'll survive the round. A nice effort from Titan, but 9-8 is going to be the scoreline here. And the Swedes, they soldier on. They're now 7 rounds away from heading on to the Grand Finals to defeat Virtus Pro, which would be, I say again, sort of almost a replay of last year's, or sorry, our last season scenario.
You know, it would be incredible, though, if Fnatic go the distance. It would be 4 best-of-3s that they have to play in a single day. Yeah. That would be just the longest marathon that we've seen in quite some time. But yet again, Titan with the correct call. They're getting the read, and do Fnatic actually walk into this stack again? RPK up close is going to get overwhelmed by flush shot, and there you go, Crims starts to hesitate, start to back off. Pronax hasn't seen anybody peeking around on B site. B halls are clear. So this is looking like Fnatic are getting the proper read. They're getting the info, and they're making the play off of it. That bomb is going to get over here, and they will be able to dodge this stack that Titan had set up. The trap is not going to close on the Swedes today.
Well, Flush is going to get caught. JW probably should have been dead. Existence actually landed a clean headshot on him when he was playing mid like that. But, in the end, still a 3v4, and not a lot that Titan can do here. Maybe look for a kill or two as they exit the bomb site.
Well, Kenny's got his CZ, and Apex of P250, so they got some firepower. JW is very low, but JW is also backed off into T-spawn, so he's about as far away as can be. Crims is going to take out Apex, so there's a kill, and Kenny now just a little bit too late to be able to actually get in here and have an impact. Crims and Pronax are both watching this bomb mining it, making sure that Kenny can't go for any kind of shenanigans. He gets spotted out, and now the impact that he can have is virtually nil. He decides to back off and hold on to the CZ because he should be getting his AWP in the next round. If not from him, he's definitely going to have enough money on RPK. Yeah, RPK could drop it. Kenny has it as well, though. He could go for the glass cannon, so let's see.
And now's that choice, right? Does he feel like he's had a big enough impact so far? And he obviously does, but you got to wonder if it's one of those cases where it would make more sense for him to go for armor and grenades, and maybe you'd have a bigger impact on the rounds here. It's not that he's been doing so badly, Kenny, this time. I mean, he's a 10 tied with Apex, and Maniac's actually, as we said, bottom fragging, playing that squeak door. But still, you got to wonder if it's the best choice right now.
Or are they going to use the... Is Kenny going to use the anti-Kenny? That's crazy. No. Changed it up, looks to short instead. And right now, it is kind of a push all over the place from Fnatic. It looks like pressure is being applied towards the A site. Crib's even going for the wallbang and squeak door over here, so Maniac realizing, okay, somebody's in there, somebody's in my spot. Fnatic haven't really committed anywhere on this map right now. They're content to kind of sit back. After making some noise on A, seems like they're going to consolidate for a push over through mid, and Apex is the only one really here to hold this.
Just playing in the middle and playing very passively. This is the sort of position where you spot someone, maybe get a kill, but then run away. A little bit open at this point in time, and it's a double boost coming in from Fnatic, so they're going to go for some mid aggression, but the bomb making its way back towards Existence. And he's going to put up a smoke with some pretty decent timing. That's going to put a little bit of a slow into Fnatic here. And
I mean, Titan have to know what's happening here because Apex was flashed into A main just as that push began for Fnatic. So they have the info now. Titan is pushing into the back ranks. Fnatic, they need to go. They need to get onto this B side right now because the rotation is now finally coming out here from Titan. They figured out what Fnatic are up to. This is it, though. Are the Swedes going to be able to get the bomb plant? They take out Existence, who was lurking on the site.
Oh.
This is now Fnatic's situation.
Here it is. Look at this. This is the flashbang that we saw earlier from RPK. This is so dirty. It bounces up back right in. It's a perfect pop flash. But Fnatic still coming up with the majority of the kills. No one there to pick up on the flashbang. And Apex now, if he could get the kill on Pronax, it might open it up, but they don't realize how low Fnatic are. There's the one, and Pronax is on 9 health. Kenny goes down, and Apex just trying to clean up.
There's the op picked up. Pronax can even save that AWP for JW in the next round, or Olafmeister, or Flusha if he wants it. I mean, everybody can use it. Apex is trying to run away, but he gets caught out in the open, down to 50 HP. He even backs up and tries to take that fight. Apex not going to be invulnerable this time, however. He only ends the round with 3 kills. But
what was really weird is, because you're right, Apex was sneaking up behind like that, and Existence playing in sight, so it took Titan a very, very long time to rotate into help Existence.
That's the issue, because as soon as that push came over in the boost, 2 guys coming in through Fnatic, the instant reaction from Titan was Apex falling off a short and getting flashed into A main to wrap around through. So they had so much info to go off of Titan. It just seems like, again, hesitation. Perhaps just a little bit weak on the comms, but hesitation there costing them.
Yeah, that was definitely a round that Titan could have had a much better run at. This time they're back to pistols, so it's getting dangerous. Not sort of close to panic yet. I think Titan still feel like they can get back into this game, and they definitely can. But at 8-12, which it seems like it's about to be, they do really need to start picking it up here. Fnatic having a great round. Existence will revenge himself on Olafmeister from beyond the grave, and it's Maniac who's left here now in a 1v4. Trying to take a fight, and we'll go down to Crim. So 8-12. Now they need to put their foot down and put an end to this.
Very fine work, very fine work. And there it is. This is how they're going to do it. And it's Maniac who goes for the Scar 20. So not Apex this time like we saw on Mirage. Instead it's going to be this... Oh, what? Where did that come from?
We've got ourselves a karambit on the
real
stream.
Karambit, and you're actually holding it in the messed up way that like the model's doing. Oh, yes, there you go. Hold it right, Anders.
I don't know. We'll show it later if we can keep it for a second. We're enjoying this too much now. We got to focus on the game as Existence will go down as the first man in middle, and the bomb is all the way back here. So Fnatic just playing a style where they're looking for the entry frag. They got it as well. They did take a lot of damage on JW and Crims though. So with a little bit of luck here for Titan, they can turn this around.
And they're going for the double boost again. What was successful before, Fnatic are just looking to build off of this. Unless Apex can come up big here, he's trying to sneak his way forward in mid. And he's right there. Look at that. It's like the counter boost situation, and they're both so very low up on that box. Does he make the jump? No, he does not. But he jumps right into Flusha. They were waiting. They heard it.
Oh no, Kenny in the middle, open hand, scopes up, spots one, there's the kill, and JW will fall back. And credit to RPK actually, well now he's sort of fallen up, but he was up on this box playing, and one of the big criticisms that we've seen from multiple people in this game so far is that RPK actually plays very predictably on this B bomb side. Everybody kind of knows his angles, so he's trying to change it up, and that's really, really good. Now he's playing in the far corner here, Pronax coming in, and RPK gonna get the 1 kill, 4 bullets left, not enough, and well, Maniac just not really in a position to help anybody there.
Yeah, he's in the position to go home. Go back into the Squeak Door, Maniac, where you feel nice and comfortable, where the walls are close, and you're nice and warm. And hold on to that Scar 20, man, because you're going to need it in the next round. Your team right now are going to be wrecked with the money. I mean, they're going to get max round loss bonus, but it's still going to be a bit touch and go as to what they want to do with that. So that Scar 20 is going to be worth its weight in gold for Titan in the next one. But gotta say that Fnatic just continue to play off of that. I mean, I'm glad that you bring up RPK and his ability, you know, his attempt to change things up. But Fnatic is also just like, okay, well, we've had success with the double mid boost. We've managed to actually go towards this B site. Let's just keep doing that until Titan finally figure out that this is what they need to stop.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to deal with right now because you know, Kenny was quick on the rotation getting in there, but he just missed the shot. If he picked up that first player, maybe they would have been different entirely. 13-8, and I said earlier that we weren't quite close to the panic moment for Titan yet, but I think now we're definitely getting there.
Yeah, now it's starting to get a bit scary, and they are going to go for the Force. They actually go for the FAMAS, and that's quite a bit enough. That's going to be enough here for them to actually have an impact. Apex should have an M4, yeah. So money is there. Is there enough for Titan to squeeze something together? Actually, managing to skimp here and there on the helmet armor, and just only Apex having the kit. So you can see that they're hurting, but this is it. Fnatic are so very close to clinching this 2-0.
Ooh, Maniac, that is a dangerous repeat to take. And the grenades will take him out. Great double there, but Crims will go down. Kenny teaming up with Apex to make sure they could actually prevent that. And Kenny going to pick up the AWP. It's not too common. He takes down JW. That's a big opening frag. In the middle, Apex just falling back from that corner to take down Flusha. And that means Pronax and Olofmeister are left here. Titan can definitely make this comeback happen.
Oh, they certainly can, especially now. Olofmeister spotted. Kenny just putting shots through, hoping that Olofmeister gets greedy, tries to walk in there, but Olofmeister with the AWP now, and a minute left to play here. So this is plenty of time now for Fnatic to come up with a game plan, and to try and catch somebody off guard from Titan. But breaking the vents would be a lot of information given to Titan for free, so they seem like they want to try and play off of this instead. See if they can't catch somebody out of position here on the A side. Olofmeister taking that peek, looking to the likely spots, but Kenny has really changed it up. Look at this awkward position he's in.
Yeah, this is an off angle if I've ever seen one. Really hard for Olofmeister to predict. He's going to be walking right in, and he ends up going down. He was even scoped up there, but it's still so hard to imagine someone would be there. Existence to go down, and RPK ready to pick it up. Triple kill from Kenny, though. Great effort from him, really stepping it up here in the later stages of this game and making it to 9-13. Now, Fnatic do have a lot of money. Big bank going in on JW. I think he started the round with around 11,500. So he can definitely buy for a couple of teammates here, but there's still going to be an end to it at some point. Look at it, the scoreboard here. 2 of their players, at least, actually 3 of them, somewhat low on money.
So this is where it starts to get a little bit tricky for Fnatic. The grind can begin, but they will have enough for a half buy in the next round as well if they want to go like AK Tech 9 combination. So they can do that, Fnatic, if they want to keep up the pressure and lose if they lose here. But this is also danger zone for Titan. Titan need to start chaining some rounds together here.
Look at this.
Double boost, and it does not pay off this time around. It is actually pretty much a fair trade. Flush it down to 35 and Existence down to 47. So both teams, you know, bruised, but no kills.
It's a very aggressive idea, just pushing out like that in the smoke and trying to boost inside it. But it almost worked as well. Existence now playing very close here. And right on the other side, Olofmeister trying to find an angle with the AWP. They're almost stacked up at the same exact angle here. So got to be careful. And Olofmeister, I think, on the other side is also trying to play around that smoke as much as possible. The bomb is making its way over here towards the B bomb site. So RPK and Existence, they're holding like they did last time. JW will open up with a kill over at main. But that's all just a distraction.
Yeah, this is just JW, but then again, you know, Apex would have said, you know, wait, I didn't see anybody. I only saw JW over here. And you can see the consolidation of the defense on this B site. Existence and RPK working so well together to get flambéed, in fact. A lot of damage being dealt there just thanks to that Molotov. And now Fnatic are just going to go in, crash onto this site, look to overwhelm the defense. But there are currently 3 players here for Titan, putting up one hell of a fight.
And RPK in the back line will end up going down as well. And I think Existence needed his help then. I feel like RPK might be playing a little bit too much solo play and not quite enough communication between Existence and RPK there. Kenny now in a 1v4, and they're going to come for him. Crims will take him out. That is now 14-9, and that's not even the biggest problem. It's the money right now that's going to really screw Titan.
Yeah, it is. I mean, exactly. They get reset. Just as I was saying, you know, they need to win consecutive rounds to gain a little bit of a cushion. They're back down to 1,400 starting money, and that just completely wrecks them. Three guys basically around the 2,000 mark, 4 guys around the 2,000 mark, and only RPK with some money to play with. So this is now going to be just a round of eco, and Titan are going to be forced to play for overtime. So their backs are going to be to the wall. We'll see if they can actually come up with anything big. But you know, as far as Fnatic are concerned, they've pretty much got this map in the bag. This win, 2-0, it's looking fantastic.
Oh man. Again, Titan playing a solid terrorist side, and then just having a really hard time with the CT defense.
Very scary here. Maniac, oh, he comes way too close, down to 4 HP. Kenny's going to come in, and he does hunt him down. So there's a gun for Kenny to work with. But Pronax and JW, they're already here waiting for Kenny. If Kenny comes back through this door, he's a dead man.
Good flashbang there. And RPK actually is going to try and respond to it, but maybe a second too late. JW. Really good reactions, and Existence now all alone. And really not a lot that you can do from this position here, but again, they only had pistols to start the round with. Don't know if they were expecting too much. Existence, I mean, he's been carrying more than his weight at this point here. 21 kills, just 2 behind Crims, in spite of the fact that they're 5 rounds behind. That's pretty impressive.
It's something with French teams where when they're behind, when they've got their, when they're just stuck, it's the leaders who tend to actually come through and start fragging more. When Envy struggle, it's Happy who steps forward and starts getting all these kinds of crazy frags and starts trying to, like, literally lead the team by example to bring them back in. He's going to drag them back into that game. In Existence, it's almost the same. He's at 21, 3, and 17 right now. The runner-up is Kenny with 15 frags. And Existence is the one right now who's trying to get his team back into it to show them, you know, this is how you guys do it. You get the kills. You know, you put your head, you know, put the crosshair on the guy's head, pull it, and then, you know, we're all very happy from there on out, right?
They're going to try and make it work, and they've got... It's pretty much this one round here to do it. AWP on Kenny. Double AWP, though, on the Fnatic side.
They've kept this double AWP for quite some time now as well. Like several rounds now, they've actually been running this. Fnatic, that is.
Yeah, and it's been working just fine for them.
Oh, and Apex down to 1 HP, gets caught. No escape for him. He tried to change things up and go for some aggression over in Squeak Door. Crims not having any of that. Instead, it's going to be Existence returning, and there you go. Once again, Existence. He goes forward and he brings him back the equalizer. Takes out Olafmeister and B Halls.
So even trade, and I think it's decent in favor of Titan here, because they did take out Olafmeister, who's been playing really well. Kenny sneaking up. Oh, Flusher gonna go down over at the B bomb site. They need Kenny to come up with a big kill here. He spots the man, but he can't catch him. The timing is off by 1 millisecond, and that is probably gonna finish it for Titan. If he could have got that kill on JW, they would have had a reasonable chance to play a 2v3. Now instead, they're a 2v4.
Kenny.
And they're going back around here. Kenny walking into Crims, but now Maniac's alone. Fnatic, 1 kill away from making it to the grand finals to play Virtus Pro. And that's going to be a brutal matchup.
That's going to be incredible. And it's a rematch practically as well. So we'll go more into that when the time comes. But right now, Maniac is doing the best that he can to put up the fight, refuses to give up. He's taking the fight long range, but Flusher will finally find that headshot up close, and it will be a 2-0 victory for Fnatic. They overcome their demons, Anders. They lost in horrible fashion to Titan yesterday, and this day they managed to turn it around, and Fnatic will make that run into the grand finals. We will have 2 top 4 teams here to close out this season of ESEA.
Yeah, really impressive. Fnatic showing how much work can be done in the space of just a single day. Not that it was exactly easy, but they managed to make it work. And we got our Karambit as well.
Yeah, we got the Karambit as well.
Just
yeah, man.
trying to get a few pins in here.
Yeah, sorry, bro. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna.
No one will know. That is Fnatic back in the grand finals versus Virtus Pro, just like it was last season.
Actually, I think there's a bit of a giveaway going on with these pins right now as well.
Oh, really?
So, you know, check the ESEA on Twitter. It's just, I think it's like at ESEA. I think they're doing a giveaway. So if you're interested in getting your hands on some of these, you know, make sure that they stay over here. You know, we're giving them away. So. All
right. In the meantime, guys, we've got a 30-minute break before we go into the grand finals. Now, remember, there's a best-of-3 advantage for Virtus Pro, meaning they just need to win 2 maps in the grand finals, and they're going to be good. They need to win 1 best-of-3, that is. Yeah. And then Fnatic need to win 2 best-of-3s, exactly. Which they did last season. They won 4 maps straight in a row against VP and took the finals. This time, it's there's a lot more on the line, a lot more money as well.
incredible amount of money.
Yeah.
I mean, 70,000 for first place.
Yep.
70,000. That's a huge paycheck. That's a lot of money on the line right
Very
there.
nearly a major tournament being won.
Exactly.
If you can do
That's $30,000 shy of a first place at a major.
Yep.
So ESEA just incredible with how much they've come forward and actually gone into supporting the scene. But guys, that's going to be the battle that's going to be coming up after this 30-minute break.
Hi guys, welcome back to the sidelines here in Dallas, Texas, where I'm joined by Apex from Team Titan. First of all, commiserations. That was a pretty tough loss for you guys. What's your reaction to that?
Well, it's a bit hard because mainly yesterday we should have won cash against Virtus Pro. We played so bad. We just played so bad city side during 2 matches. So yeah, they were just better than us on this match, and yeah, nothing to say.
Okay, well, let's talk specifically about the Fnatic game you just played. The last time we spoke, or I spoke to Maniac, you'd just beaten Fnatic in the upper semi-finals. You swept them 2-0, and you guys made it look really easy. And today you've come back and they've 2-0'd you. Does it feel like Fnatic's playing better? They're better prepared today?
Well, I don't think so. I think we played worse than 2 days ago.
Yeah.
We just, as I said, play our worst city side ever.
Yeah.
We just had 8-1 Asti, which is a lot, because Mirage is a city map and Cash is okay, but 8 runs 2 times is really good. But yeah, we took the pistol one, and I think we lost every pistol one against them, or maybe lost 3. And yeah, they were better. We just played, as I said, so bad city side. It's mainly why we lost this game.
Okay, well, I mean, let's talk about Mirage to begin with. So you did get the 8 rounds on T, as you say. Then you moved to CT side and you had all these issues. I mean, can you explain that? Was there miscommunication? Why did you have this CT side slump?
Well, I would say since yesterday we had some problem against Virtus Pro. On city sides we did some mistakes, and today we were not so confident about that. So yeah, that was the main reason. On Cash mainly, but Mirage was terrible. We should have won some rounds. For example, once I was with Auto Sniper on the ground, and I thought I killed one, but I didn't, and both were low HP, but I thought I killed one. So yeah, that was little mistakes, but you know, against the best team in the world, when you do mistakes, it's over.
You can't afford to do that. Yeah. Well, then on Cash, again, you won 8 rounds on the T side, and I think when you moved to CT, you only went 1 for 10 on CT side.
What a joke.
Yeah. Well, as you went through that half and you kept losing rounds, was there ever a point where you felt we've lost? You know, the mental defeat. Did that set in?
We said, Existence said, okay guys, okay, we're not good at city side today and yesterday for this event, but let's focus on skill and let's try to kill them. Let's do what you want and try to kill them.
Yeah.
It didn't work, but it was the best thing to do, I think. And we started so bad as T. We lost 5-0 and then back to 8-7, which is a really good T side.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were, you know, because of yesterday against Virtus Pro, we were too stressed about our city side, because we didn't know what to do. It was weird, really weird. So I don't know.
Right. You mentioned Existence just there. He's got a reputation for being one of the best in-game leaders.
Yeah.
What kind of attitude does he try and impose on you guys when you're having a really bad half like that? What does he try and do to stimulate you guys?
Well, he tries just to say, as I said before, he said, well, yeah, let's focus on your skill, guys. We're not good at CT. It's okay. We can also win if you guys are killing people. So yeah, his mentally is really good in this moment and all the time. So.
Okay, just a good attitude overall.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try and finish on a slightly happier note. So in season 17. Again, you came to Dallas and you had a far poorer performance. You won 1 game, lost 2, and you were straight out of the tournament. Here, you've done a lot better. You've come 3rd. Do you feel that's at least a positive you can take home from this tournament, that you performed better than last season?
It was different because of the last season we played with Yorek, and it was our coach, and we didn't practice at all. So no, for me it's not a good result, because we wanted the top 2. We should have won yesterday against Virtus Pro. Today was they were better, but yeah, we're not so happy about our result, but we know that we have something to do still. So yeah, we didn't practice a lot because we had some troubles and we have a lot of plans. And since Katowice, we changed everything about our play style and we play much better. Every single player in our team are making difference. So we are in the good way, you know, but we still have to work a lot for some things.
Okay, last question before I let you go back to your team. You mentioned just there that you play a hell of a lot of LANs. I think over the last few weeks we've had a LAN every weekend for 7 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel there are too many tournaments in Counter-Strike? Would you prefer a weekend off? Do you ever get tired of this?
Yeah, I think so. For the moment, it's too much.
Yeah,
you know, I love participating tournaments, but at this moment, it's too much. Yeah, fortunately, we have a 1 week break to stay here in USA to enjoy a bit.
Nice.
Because since Katowice we had 5 or 6 tournaments in a row. You know, we shouldn't practice a lot. Also because Maniac is working, so it's different. You know, we are not playing like the others.
Yeah.
We're playing maybe less 10 or 15 hours per week than the others. So yeah, we should practice more and maybe we'll win this kind of tournaments. But now it was almost, but it's not enough.
Right, okay. Apex, thank you very much. I really appreciate you speaking to us. It's never easy after a loss, is it? But
no
thank you very much. Best of luck in the future as well.
Thank you.
And for everyone watching on ESEA TV, stay tuned. We've got the grand final coming up in about half an hour's time, I think.